Welcome to Drafting Out Loud. Today we're going to be looking at the DraftKings market movers, and always this is brought to you by the Leverage Lab, where we get all our data. On today's episode, we'll be looking at two risers where I think the rise has started, two fallers where the fall has probably started, and a couple risky players who are better values on DraftKings relative to underdog. Let's get into it. First off, what players has the rise started on? Of course, all the players on here, the rise has started, but there are two in particular that I think we need to be aware of. One is Rashee Rice. I drafted him in one draft at pick like 24 or 25, and there's another draft where I skipped on him at pick like 30. So, um, but what I was thinking when I drafted him at 24 was it's about time that he's probably going to start rising. He's going to be getting out of jail soon, as I've read from other people or heard from other people. And with that, the excitement's probably going to pick up, and maybe other people are picking up on that as well. And he's risen almost a whole pick in the last 2 days. I think he's one of these players where, unless we hear some bad news, you probably want to start getting him again in that third round before he goes into that second round. It's probably going to happen sooner than you think. Next up, we have, where is he? We have one more, and that is, can't find him. Cam Skattebo. He is now up to pick 43. He's risen a half a round in the last 2 days. He's risen two round, or not half a round, half a pick in the last 2 days, and two picks in the past 7 days. You can see that his entire rise for the past month has happened in the last 7 days. So really early in on this rise here. He's doing backflips in at events, and he's participating in practices. Tyrone Tracy is not rising right now. In fact, he's not one of the fallers, but he's actually dropping a little bit. So the market kind of thinks Cam Skattebo is going to be healthy, and all accounts sound like he's going to be healthy. So if you want to grab him before he rises anymore, now is the time to do that. I think it's one of those things where you got to be thinking like, and I've had this decision myself, Cam Skattebo or Josh Jacobs over here on DraftKings. And I'm kind of 50-50, but the market has Cam Skattebo now ahead of Josh Jacobs, and it's risen even a little bit more. Josh Jacobs actually has stopped falling as well, so now it's going to be hard to get both of them on the same team because everyone's starting to think that Josh Jacobs probably isn't going to get suspended, and people are starting to think that Cam Skattebo is going to actually play to start the season. So I've been drafting Cam Skattebo ahead of Josh Jacobs in my most recent draft that I had an opportunity to do that in, but there was one or two before that where I did take Josh Jacobs ahead. It's kind of tough, right? Like the injured player versus the potential suspended player. Right now, it sounds like Cam Skattebo's not going to be on the injury reports when we get to the regular season. And because of that, maybe there's a little bit less risk on his side of the coin. So be aware of that. If you do have the option between the two, I think it's, you got risks on either side, but it's actually a decision at this point in time versus maybe a week ago, it was Josh Jacobs all the way, if you ask me. Going on to the fallers, we have two fallers that we want to hit on here. Number one, Harold Fannin, and number two, Alec Pierce, back to back, some of the biggest fallers so far over the for the day here. 1.6 picks in the last 2 days for both of them, almost half a round, or basically half a round for Harold Fannin, and a quarter of a round or a third of a round almost for Alec Pierce in the last 7 days. And you can see Harold Fannin's dropped almost a whole round in 30 days, while Alec Pierce is about half a round in the last 30 days. So they're falling pretty darn fast and consistent right now. We're going to go look at the DraftKings rankings to see where they might be headed to. So 76. If we scroll down, Alec Pierce is right here. And this all stems from the ankle injury. And I think he's like, I don't know what to call it here, but I think he's actually going to be in this quarterback ladder or whatever you want to call it, right? Like we got Dak Prescott right here. Then we have Justin Herbert right here. Then you have Trevor Lawrence right here. Then you have Matthew Stafford. And I could see him just slowly falling down this quarterback ladder. He's fine. He's gotten passed by Jalen Hurts. And I just think there's a lot of pressure with these other players where people are like, I need to get my stack. I need to do this. I don't want to lose out on quarterbacks to where if you have something going on with you, you just start to fall down that those ranks as you get closer to the one quarterback. You quickly get surpassed, and then you end up to the next quarterback. And you quickly get surpassed, type of thing. So I'd expect him to maybe even by tomorrow be behind Dak Prescott, and then slowly move towards not slowly, probably I faster than we expect, maybe even get passed by like Justin Herbert or something like that. There is a spot to draft him at. I don't know what it is though. Just, based on what he's done in the past versus what's going on now. So I'm staying away unless I can get a good price or if it makes sense for the team for whatever reason. And then we have, where is he? Harold Fannin, who has fallen all the way down to pick 91. So he's kind of fallen down this ladder a little bit. Actually, Lemon has as well. I'm not sure. Maybe the Q tag for him. I'm not sure. But Harold Fannin, actually, Jaden Reed, I want to say, let's take a look and see, was Jaden Reed a riser right now? Or was he just a value? So he's on the values. He's not a riser right now, but he's a value at pick 91.7. He's 83 on underdog, by the way. So you could see pressure here for Harold Fan to get passed up by Jaden Reed. Then you got your QBs and Patrick Mahomes. After Patrick Mahomes, you have a little bit of a gap before Brock Purdy. So basically, I could see Harold Fannin continue to fall past Jaden Reed, past Patrick Mahomes, and then it's just a question of does he continue to fall past this other pocket or not? Um, I think part of it also would be like Harold Fannin versus Sam Laporta versus Kyle Pitts, and so I do think that it's going to be tough for him to fall further than probably like here in this not this mid 90s, 93, 94 range, just because everyone's going to feel comfortable taking their tight ends right here because there's a pocket. So it's just a question of does this whole pocket shift down and the quarterbacks move up or does it stay there? So if you grab Harold Fannin here at 91, I don't think you're going to lose out too much, but I do expect him to fall down a couple more picks. So I think the fall is real for Alec Pierce, and I think the fall is real for Harold Fannin. Um, for different reasons too, right? Injuries for Alec Pierce. For Harold Fannin, I guess he's got the Q tag on DraftKings. That is a thing. So does Sam Laporta, by the way. So the Q tag also just target competition, weird things going on in Cleveland, unknown QBs, just a lot of things going on. Okay, so we got two risers we need to be aware of in Rice and Scatabo. We got two fallers we need to be aware of um, in Alec Pierce and Harold Fannin. And speaking of Josh Jacobs, risky players that are better picks on DraftKings based on price. You have Josh Jacobs right here, pick 44 versus 38. So you're getting him in the middle of that round versus the beginning of the fourth round. You get more like in the middle of the fourth round. You can give him late fourth round still sometimes. And then also down here we have, maybe he's up here. Where is he? We can find him. One more. Oh, at the very top, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, instead of getting in the middle of the third round, you can get at the beginning of the fourth round. So Malik Neighbors is another interesting pick here on DraftKings. There's been some positive news for Malik Neighbors, and I don't think it's translated yet to him being a riser like Cam Scatabo, but there's there hasn't been any negative news recently. There's much negative news recently, at least, and there's been some coach speak saying that they actually expect him back. Some of the negative news was him maybe walking funny or something like that. Who knows what that was all about? But there is some positive speak about him actually expected to be back early as opposed to later, which some people were talking about. So if you do want to target some of those risky players, Malik Neighbors, like Josh Jacobs, even someone like a rookie Makai Lemon, a rookie, where did he go? Jeremiah Love, or a unknown in Travis Hunter. The place to go is DraftKings, it looks like. Okay, there we go. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.